So Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. This game is unhinged, and I say that in the best way possible. You never really know what's going to happen with your Miis, and even if you try to set up a situation to play out one way, they're almost always going to surprise you. Which is how Dr. Robotnik got his heart broken by Sonic the Hedgehog, who ended up choosing a relationship with Miranda Priestley. Just that sentence alone should tell you how uniquely unhinged this game can be. With that said, it's not perfect, and after about 12 hours of gameplay, including an hour before release, this game became a bit of a repetitive yet creative slog, if that's a good way to put it. So let's dive into the world of
Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream.
So Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is a new life sim from Nintendo, available for Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2. It is the third game in the Tomodachi series and a sequel to Tomodachi Life for the Nintendo 3DS. In this game, you are in control of Miis who live on an island. As you add Miis and respond to their needs and whims, your island will level up, giving you the ability to add additional buildings and expand your island. You can add up to 70 Miis, and they can form friendships, relationships, and even get married and start families with each other. Along the ways, your Mii will sometimes ask you to play minigames, and you can eavesdrop on their conversations and even their dreams. In a lot of ways, I would kind of liken it to an ant farm. You're basically watching and maybe guiding the Miis a little bit, but most of their interactions are with each other and are made on their own. That was one of the first things that took me by surprise. I had never played any of the previous Tomodachi's games, but I was expecting you to be able to create and control your own player character like you do with Animal Crossing. So the first character I created obviously wasn't me, Dorian. I also almost said Sim Dorian here, but I wasn't actually able to play as him. Diving further into character creation, you will pretty much be creating all of your Miis on your island from scratch. Although you can pull in Miis you created previously if they're still on your Switch, like if you made them for the Wii or if you made them for like Miitopia. You can also share Miis locally, but there is no real way to pull in Miis created by other players, and there is no way to bring in a random Mii. Even if you don't choose to make one from scratch, you'll still have to go through several screens to end up designing one. This, I will admit, is a lot of fun at first. You can basically create any character you want, as the character creation option is pretty robust. On my own island, for example, in addition to Sim Dorian, I added the likes of Sonic the Hedgehog as well as Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Robotnik, Miranda Priestley, Agnes Crumblebottom from The Sims, and of course Idris Elba, because why not? I also created some Miis who ended up being more like entities, just like Blurb, Pink Pink, Hole, and Perp Perp. The fact that their voice also makes this a cool feature, and there are so many options for voices. It is basically text to speech, so it ends up sounding at least a little weird.
My name is
But it does add a bit of charm to the game and your characters. Like I said, this really was a lot of fun at first, and it can be a lot of fun to create your favorite fictional characters or even real life friends and family to see what kind of hijinks they get into. While you can create up to 70, however, I found the process to get really repetitive after the 5th or so Mii. If you're really into character creation, then I'm sure you'll have a blast here, but it's honestly not really my shtick. I don't even really like doing character creation in The Sims 4, and that's one of the main features of the game and of this channel. In addition to creating your own Miis, you can also create custom objects and even buildings once you unlock the pallet house and the additional options that come through leveling up. This allows you to add even more of your personal touch to the game, and like with Mii creation, it can be a lot of fun at first. The ability to customize objects and buildings works a lot like creating your Miis, and you can design pretty much anything, whether it's clothing, food items, or buildings. The lack of the ability to share or download others' creations, though, is a bit of a hindrance, as like with creating Miis, creating custom objects can get a bit monotonous after a while, and because your custom objects are including some of the mini games, it can make it really easy to get through them, especially if your object has a unique shape. If you don't want to create your own buildings or objects, thankfully, there are quite a few pre-made options you can go with. For buildings, in addition to player houses, there are 13 buildings that you and your Miis can interact with, including the Food Mart, where you can buy food, as the name implies, TNC Reno, where you can find different room options for your Miis, and even a restaurant Ferris wheel that your Miis can hang out with. My favorite of these is probably the Tomoria restaurant. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but you will sometimes get custom cutscenes as your Sims enjoy meals together. You can also plop your Miis down in there and try to force interactions, which is what I was trying to do to get Sonic and Robotnik together before Sonic stepped out with Miranda Priestley. And later, I did this while I was trying to get me Dorian together with Idris Elba, which I was not successfully able to do through my playthrough. In addition to buildings, you can also buy island decor from the Quick Build store, which you can use to decorate your island. The island builder is pretty easy to use, and I like that you can shop for items from within the tool instead of having to go out, go to the Quick Build, buy them, and then go back to your island. Your initial choices are pretty limited, but as you level up your island, you can unlock additional decorations, path options, and more. Your Miis will sometimes ask for something specific to be added, like additional pathing, benches, or street lamps. I did really like the flexibility here, and if you really get into designing custom buildings, I could see someone making a pretty awesome and pretty unique island. In my playthrough, I made a rainbow pyramid, which I called a Pyramid, and I created a custom house for Hole. Keep in mind though, this isn't really like creating custom buildings in The Sims, Pokobia, or games like Minecraft. By designing a custom building, you're basically just painting a surface, and that's about it. You can add a sheen and give it some unique attributes after, but it is still basically more of the painting tool. So if you got bored with that with character creation, it's not going to be that different here. So we talked about character creation and building and decorating your island, but let's dive a bit more into gameplay, which you're basically just you overseeing and sometimes eavesdropping on your Miis. As they are conversing with each other, you'll sometimes see a text box showing what they're talking about, and the Miis will also flag you down if they have a want or if they need or want something. Like if they are hungry or want to befriend another Mii, or if they want to play a mini game with you. You also sometimes find a Mii in a situation where they need assistance. You can either do so yourself by way of another mini game, or you can drag a Mii over to assist, which can help boost the friendship between the two. Unfortunately, as is the theme with a lot of my other feedback about this game, this can get very repetitive very quickly. For Miis that need assistance, I've only ever seen them either have hiccups, they've fallen down, or they get stuck in place. The cutscene, if you bring another Mii, or the mini game, if you choose to assist yourself, are pretty much the same. As far as other mini games, we either flipped a coin or played some variation of guess the object. Winning these games allows you to get some cool new items, but for losing, you either get toilet paper or tissues. I lost a lot of these, so we have a lot of toilet paper on my island. Other interactions can get repetitive after a while as well. When a Mii wants to befriend another Mii, you can give them a subject to discuss, and then it'll be the same cutscene over and over again with this conversation. This is fun the first few times, especially since you can have the Miis talk about whatever, no matter how inappropriate. I played around with this a bit, but I didn't want to be too explicit, so the first few conversations were involving eggplants and big juicy peaches. But there is no censorship here, which honestly is probably why sharing is so difficult, if not impossible, and so you can really be explicit as you and your morals and ethics will allow. For my playthrough, I played about 12 hours, with the first hour being spent playing through the demo, which does allow you to carry over your island into the full game. I ended up reaching level 25, I added 14 Miis, and unlocked all the pre-built buildings like the Quick Mart and the Ferris wheel. A lot of that was in 2 to 3 hour chunks. I do think that was probably a little bit detrimental to my experience. I can see this being the type of game that you want to play in small doses. By doing so, you'll at least space out some of the repetitive interactions. I could see it being really fun to occasionally check in on your Miis and see how they're doing. With all that said, I'm not sure how much I'm personally going to be going back into this game. I may still pop in and check things out, and I may still try to get Dorian and Idris Elba to get together, but even with that goal in mind, I'm not really in control, so I'm basically watching and waiting to see if it eventually happens. Maybe if I had the ability to more directly influence the Mii's actions, I may be more enticed to come back for more. I do see this game having a lot of potential to expand though. I could see new events popping up, or the ability to visit other islands could make for a very interesting experience. I could also see Nintendo adding more mini games or objects over time, like they have for games like Animal Crossing. For me, I would need to see a bit more variety, and I would really need the ability to create and place random Miis or others from the gallery, so I didn't have to go through the character creation process every single time. So that's pretty much it, my friends. Those are my thoughts on Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. If you'd like to watch my full gameplay, that video will be up alongside this one. It will be a long play video with very minimal editing, so you don't have to watch all or any of it, honestly, but it could be a good place to jump around and see if you want to see some of the gameplay in action. You can also still find a free demo on Nintendo eShop. In a demo, you can create up to 3 characters and you get some of the interactive buildings like the food mart and the clothing shop. I think this could be a great way to get a feel for the game, especially since it's free, but just know that initial shine may wear off as you proceed through playing through the whole thing. So with all that, my friends, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment letting me know what you think of this game. Have you tried it? Do you want to try it? Did you play through the demo? I feel like I may have been a bit hard in some spots here on this game, so if there's anything you think I should try, maybe give it another shot, just let me know. But if you have not already subscribed to the channel, I hope you'll consider doing so. Well, I'm not sure how much new Tomodachi content there will be. I do play a lot of Sims 4, Animal Crossing, and Pokopia, and I'm always open to new games, so let me know if you have any recommendations. But for now, my friends, thank you again for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will catch you next time. Bye, everybody.